So we got to cover last time on the Dark Game book, episode 5. Episode 6 was giving supporting details of what episode 5 meant. But this is the continuous of the storyline, which is episode 7. So, episode 7 consists of me, how far I've come, and what I could have been if I didn't stop doing the behavior I done. So, Dark Game Book, Chapter 7. So, this chapter starts off with me coming down in episode 3. This is all the events that happened after episode 3. So, episode 4 was the come down of a huge success. But what led up to episode 4? So this is most important out of all the Dark Game chapters so far. Dark Game episode 6 was just to fill everybody in on some extra details that 7 might occur. It was a preview for episode 7. Okay? So episode 7 starts off with me getting the clout off my copying a feel off a cosplayer career. So, I was very, very popular. It didn't matter what I did, but I was already popular, but it didn't mean anything to me. It didn't mean anything because what I liked best about the first convention was the character interaction and the fact that I got to see my favorite cosplay, such as the boxing assistant from Megalobox and Android 13. So, that literally blew my mind. Okay, so the come down from that year had to be, what happened was this. It went from creativity to, yo, we're not gonna stop until you go back to your cosplay career. So here's the thing. Episode 7 is all about me training for episode 4 when the next event of that year comes. So, what happened was this. I really have to say that I exaggerated when I said that I didn't like the main part of episode 2, but the best part about it is that the running gag didn't start. Because I got famous off of that cosplay shit is why people kept on pushing. Everybody's like, come on, do it again, you look so cool, oh, everything's so cool. But I stopped doing that, like how I stated in episode 6. But the great supporting detail, and the reason why I had to state that was for this. The running gag started off as, how do we get this guy to trust us? To a point where we think that he honestly is retarded and that everything is going to stay the same and that the next year isn't going to be the same as last year, which I knew it wasn't going to be, but what happened was this. Okay, so I, like I said before, started training for episode 4. Training for the next anime. Oh, what is his next performance going to be? Since he actually can cosplay now, since he doesn't just go around in his custom outfits, what is he going to do now, you know? So, that is literally what the premise was going to be. So what I did is I got a gym membership during episode 4 to help train for the event. So, during that time, I was going through a lot of denial phases, and I made a video about this called Sophomore Year Review. So this year really consisted of me struggling. The difference between the first year when I went to that con, which is Fanime, which I got famous of, and the next year that supported it, where I got even more famous of it, was I was working at that good job, and that job was hella fun. The difference between that year and the year that followed is that year was consistent where it came to fun, where it came to, creativity. Everything was great that year, but the next year really stunk. I had to really grow up. I had to realize that because I was working with a bunch of little kids, I couldn't expect work to be as fun. but I can still try and make it. But no, they still try to push the sexual harassment issue after I already stopped doing that. So that was really, 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 really bad, to the point where it got to a point where I was watching anime for my free time after I got off work. This was when I was watching anime to survive. I was watching great anime back to back to back, but it was keeping me alive. And I'm like, what happened to this guy who was a celebrity, who was, you know, everybody was talking about me, but they wanted me to do the other shit, and that wasn't happening. So how I survived was I kept on working on my personal goals. I made new personal goals, and I started investing in them. So the gym membership really helped me get through this time, but what really, really was the worst part about this chapter was I started to stoop down to low habits in order to fulfill myself with the inconsistency of the previous year. I'm like, oh, all these people are cool, but why do I have to, you know, wait to one event to see the results of my training? Why can't I go to a place to see what I can really do? So I got a taste a little bit where I started going to the gym and playing basketball. I started to become one of the best basketball players in the gym. But, you know, the fact still remains, where are my friends? And the funny thing is, all my friends were setting me up. My so-called friends were setting me up for that year, you know, for the big come down when they were going to label me a predator. It was a big, long process where they're going to see how smart I was, so they can literally tear me down the next time. I stooped to low levels to keep myself entertained because I didn't have the consistency of the first year where I could mac on girls at my job. Because the girls were all, you know, they're a little bit smarter, they're older, and you gotta come with a little bit more material things than just a mouthpiece in order to pull these women. So that kind of sucked. I didn't have as many friends as the first year, but I wasn't tripping because I had entertainment to fall back on. The entertainment this year was pretty shitty. So all that factor played into a point where I resorted to talking to myself. But funny enough, I already covered in Dark Game Chapter 6 that since we are the stalker generation, everybody was looking at me, so it didn't matter what I did, everybody was already paying attention to me. So I started talking to myself, pretending that the people who were stalking me were there, and guess what? They were. So to skip a few chapters ahead, when it comes to this chapter, what I say was, after they couldn't label me as a predator, what they did was they made it harder for me to survive without me grabbing a girl's ass, basically. They would always do this shit called ketchup, like ketchup to the bad guy. Every single job I had that year involved ketchup. And ketchup means that you're gonna slap a girl's ass so fucking long to a point when she says, oh, he raped me, and there's blood on her ass. Meaning that you slapped her so hard that her ass turns red. And that's what their goal was, because what happened was, because I don't spank like that, it became a misunderstanding. And so what happened is I got a slap on the wrist, a big slap on the wrist. So I started working at Home Depot, and they evaluated me. They even touched me on Home Depot to see if I'd give in. So I got cleared. I literally went and worked my ass off just so I can go to what I stated in part 4. I had a better cosplay idea while I wasn't going to do that old dumb shit, but I was gonna show them something that I already had, which was a mouthpiece. I used my mouthpiece heavily the first year where I didn't have to do that, but I put it into tuition where I show people I can do that in terms of their universe. My universe is I want to cosplay and I want to kill shit. I want to be a good black cosplayer, so I did Kizaru from One Piece, and that's when the security guard started running me over when I was doing something right. So it turns out that I was a tool for the Western media. I was a tool for everybody's amusement, and everybody was picking on me without giving me credit. They were praising me without giving me the check, and I was pissed at that. I was pissed at that because they paid me the first time I went to that family because of how famous I got. They paid me money, and I was gonna really do that. But I stopped a little hiatus of the cosplay shit because I realized there was ruining my life. I realized I was getting too popular in that. Yo, I thought these people were just like me. It's just anime people who like to go out and express their love for anime. But I didn't know that when I was younger, this is the biggest point of this chapter. Everything I'm going through that I'm telling you right now is a phase that I've been past that people think I haven't been past. What it is when I was a young anime nerd, I couldn't get a girl for shit. So when I go to that convention and I do this crazy shit while I'm pulling girls like it's nothing, it's making everybody fucking jealous like how I was. It's making people, you know, try to plot and scheme to take me down. And it really pissed me off because I'm like, dude, don't you know how to get a girl? It's pretty easy. And they don't, because back when I was an anime nerd, I didn't know how to get a girl for anything. So I realized why it was making so many people jealous, and I stopped macking on hoes. But you know what? Why I stopped macking on hoes when hoes started chasing me, they chased me for the wrong reason. So this whole chapter is everything I've already surpassed, but it's coming back. It's haunting me as a grown-ass man, you know? Since I'm a grown-ass man, now I can deal with it. And the whole people in my society, I can't speak for the whole society. When I say Western media, I mean a small fraction of it, my community and how they support me. But so after I killed the performance for Kizaru and Connie from Attack on Titan, when I did everything right, everybody started praising me again for a right reason. But what happened was a previous thing happened before I cosplayed as Kizaru, before I did everything right. So let me put this in layman's term. Everybody has to match an anime character, so the rules are no touchy. So, but other people do this shit for clout. Some people put on cosplays in order to get them more social media followers. So me, I did exactly what those people did, but I did it right, and I played by the rules. And that's what happened, is everybody started to get butthurt because they tried to get me to do something bad, but when I did something good, they tried to get me in trouble again and try to make up some stuff, but it didn't work. So that was really the premise of all the previous Dark Game chapters leading up to chapter 4. That was the ending of chapter 4. And chapter 6 is how I felt about chapter 4. Okay, so chapter 6 is literally, you guys shouldn't be praising me because I know on the inside I've had better times. And what I mean by better times is I've had better competition that pushed me past, that made me motivated to do something. Okay, so what happened right after episode 4, after I got falsely accused of being a predator, falsely labeled as being a predator, there was this one girl I was texting that called out my loneliness and called out me talking to myself, basically. And basically what happened was this. It was a girl that I didn't care about that much, but what happened was she was sent there by another one. And I was evaluating if she was sent by another one. I even asked her through text messages, are you sent by someone else? Because I wanted to know. And I tried just getting to know her. What happened was her friend had a scheme. Because she had, like, you know, big titties, and the other girl had front and back. The one who sent her had front and back, but the girl who came had some big ass titties, but she didn't really have much anything else. So I texted her. So what her strategy was is she tried to make it seem like I only use women for their bodies, when it's actually the exact opposite. You see, the girl who sent her disrespected me, and I didn't want to hang with her because I was being disrespected. So she had her be a spy and talk to me and be a text buddy to see if I can be a beta male provider, and if I can, you know, chill out and not ask for sex right away. Well, she knows I didn't ask for sex when I met her, which was a stupid idea. So what happened was, the girl that she sent, after I tried to cut it off, because we all know I can get another one, and she knows I can get another one, so she gaslighted me and sent me a text messages after I told her, yo, I'm about to go. So what's the funny thing about that is, during the same time, I got in contact with one of my baby mamas, and I met one of my baby mamas at the convention. And she was in cahoots with the girl that was sent by the previous girl that I was talking about. When I tried to defend myself, I'm saying, okay, I already have a baby mama. I was just texting her. I'm not gonna fall for it and be your boyfriend. And so she texted me back saying, oh, you must be lonely and retarded. I wasn't ever thinking about getting a relationship with you. When, if you read the previous text messages, she was, okay? So I didn't get the validation after I worked this whole fucking time to get one of my baby mamas back to contact me. I get in contact with her and I text her and she starts to act brand new. And so she's like, I'm gonna get my boyfriend to step in. I'm like, didn't we establish that you broke up with her? I mean, him? So what happened was this. Okay, so the girl with the big tits that was sent by my other girl tried to pull the scheme like, oh, he can't pull another one, and we're gonna continue this running gag that he could only get women by grabbing their asses. When I already have a few children, I'm sorry. So after I do everything right and everything fails after the Home Depot job, I quit my Home Depot job because the whole point of them getting me the job was to say that I will always have a criminal record, that I can only get a job through my abusive girlfriend. And that wasn't the case at all. And I learned that as soon as I went homeless. What happened was I replaced that big titty girl and proved her wrong by getting into another relationship by another girl I met at the same con. And so the running gag was about to happen. My family was about to cock block me because I was about to have my first cosplay collaboration where we're both gonna be a mixed cosplay. And so we're both gonna be a fusion cosplay character, and I was hyped about it, and she actually drove me in using love, using something that I like. She posted my favorite anime opening on Instagram, and so she used that to let me know, yo, I wanna be a couple. So all in all fair, and so I finally got what I want. I finally got someone who didn't treat me like a piece of meat, but was also extremely hot, who can keep a conversation, who had bad personality in her, so I proven that I could replace her, but that was the problem. They wanted me to settle for less. My family, the society I grew up in, they wanted me to be like, oh, yeah, you may be a newbie, but there's a lot for you to learn. You can only get such like that. And I'm like, no, that's how women work in general. You can't fool me. So what happened is, they try to get me 5150. My family puts me in a position where I can get 5150, but since I had multiple jobs and they try to get me to a group home, I already, because I sent in my pay stubs, I got off of welfare, and I proved to everyone that I don't have autism because I don't have enough welfare to buy a group home, which comes in handy when you get 5150. So I don't have all this, but what I did have is they threatened to fight me basically. So they accused me for something I didn't do, and I called them out on it. And I'm like, you want to take this outside? So they told me that, yo, you're having a temper tantrum. So the cops come, and I talk to the cops. I'm like, no, my family started it. They try to get me 5150. They always do this shit. So they didn't 5150. They put me on a regular hospital hold. And so what happened is I end up homeless because I don't have enough money to pay for a group home. But I didn't care, like, and what happened was this. I didn't care because I was already ready to let it go, because what happened was I sent the text message to my girlfriend at the time, and I told her, yo, I can get a hotel room. Now that I have money, I know what to do with it, and it will be perfect for our collab, since I know that's all you have to do. Okay, so all I have to do is save this, you know, I did my time, everything's off my criminal record, and now I can do everything I want to again. I can do it my way. But they tried to stop that from happening, so they sent me to someone who literally was of my generation, because if you know how evolution works, my family couldn't outsmart me because they don't grow up in the smartphone era. So what happened was, because I outsmarted them and they couldn't get me in trouble, they sent me to my older brother's house. Now this all ties back to the reflection of where I used to be. So my second to oldest brother, I moved in with him and he started abusing me. He literally, the dishwasher was on, you know, the garbage compactor was on, and I put my fingers in the garbage compactor, and he turned the shit on, and I could have cut my fingers, and my fingers weren't in the right position. What happened is they sent a gangster out. They had me, I was better when I was being homeless. They put me in a roof over my head saying, oh, it could be worse. And it did get worse once a roof was over my head. So the same person was doing that. He was scolding me about how to get a job, where he has a fucking construction job. Alright, so basically I started, because I accepted the first house that was offered to me, I literally went through everything that I used to be. This guy was talking to himself. This is my older brother, by the way. This is the guy who I used to look up to. He started talking to himself while he was playing video games. That's like I was doing the entire fucking year. It was really, really tough, because it really showed me that, yo, this is gonna be me if I keep on being in denial. And what happened is, because I apologized to a big kitty girl after she roasted me saying, oh, I'm sorry, she still blocked me, but what I was gonna say is, I'm sorry, it was nice meeting you, I didn't know you had such a nice personality. Because he was an op, See, they didn't get to know who I truly was, you know? But that played a part in because he was trying to put me through some tough love shit. No, that's not tough love, that's abuse. My older brother put me through shit. He choked me, he left scars on my neck, but it didn't work because I was made out of steel. I was praying for that entire year, so nothing he fucking could do could outweigh the hard work I put into myself when I wasn't in denial. When I got better at basketball, I schooled him in everything. I schooled him in rapping, I schooled him in dancing, I did everything because I trained my entire year to be at that level. My brother can spin fast on 2 feet, I can spin twice as fast on 1. You know, I did everything that he never thought I could. I even tried to show him how much love. I'm like, yo, this is how much work I put in. We started freestyling and I killed my brother. And it was crazy because that entire year I was in denial, but after I got falsely accused as a predator, it made me realize that, yo, life was really serious. Because I worked hard for this, I almost lost everything I worked hard for. And I was ready to lose everything. I'm like, you know what? They may have started the shit, but I'm dumb as fuck for doing it at all. I am dumb as fuck for continuing to do it, even though I knew it was wrong, you know? But, you know, I got the most extreme slap on the wrist, and after that, I stopped doing it. But after it, I saw what my brother was doing to himself, how he was lying to himself, how he was admitting that he wasn't getting bitches, you know, behind closed doors, but he was faking it till he made it. He had all the clothes, he had the nice songs, but when it comes down to it, he has a broken down car. You know, he can't take care of his children. That's like, I can't take care of my children and shit. But he goes about it in a different way, blaming people, shaming people, women on MGTOW shit. When I laugh at MGTOW, but I partially believe them because I went through shit, but I know it's something that you can get past. MGTOW is something that you can get past as a man, but I can understand why it can escalate because MGTOW is for grown men who already had established marriages and relationships that have been torn down due to feminism. And I understand completely where they're coming from, but that is not the final thing. Because you can get past that level. It's gonna be hard, but you literally have to go down, and you know, sometimes you have to be that popular kid, but you have to do it correctly. You can't do it at someone else's expense. You can't stomp on people to make it. How I got famous is I started doing content for people who were asking for nothing back, and what they did was they reciprocated that because of how much work I put into it. He's like, I'm gonna put this guy on because he has what I want and he's willing to do it for free, and so that's how I ended up getting paid. Yeah, so this whole chapter, it symbolizes why you have to stop bad habits from happening. I'm not talking about stupid habits like smoking weed, but you can't let being high be an excuse for you to not do your work. You can't let, you know, people trying to bring you down stop you from trying, but you also gotta think ahead and be like, yo, if I do what they tell me to do and push past the wrong limit, I'm gonna put it like this: if they tell you, they give you a high difficulty in which they control, not a general difficulty that's based off professional judges, you know, because even professional judges can be biased, you know. You have to take control and you have to decide what's right for life, and you gotta like stand by and watch how other people play themselves. As long as you don't play yourself, you're good.